Hello and welcome to another game of Fury of Dracula. This is another tournament game. I'll be playing as Dracula, so we'll see how well I'll do. Um, Playing against Randiv here. Hopefully I won't make a mistake like I did in the last game, which had a significant effect on the game. Won't say if I won or lost, because I try not to avoid spoilers in other videos. I know I always hate it when other YouTubers do that. Been seeing a lot of hunter wins in the North America region, which I like. I always like seeing the good guys win. And, let's see, I'm thinking I might do Strasbourg. Or Frankfurt. I always go to Strasbourg, is the thing. I'll go Frankfurt this time. Since we only have a new vampire, we'll throw that down. Always makes me happy to see good guys win in games. That's one of the things games teach you, is to always try to find the way to win as the good guys, despite the odds, or even if it seems like the rules are against you. Or to die trying. A lot of defeatism that is going around in modern culture. That if you feel like a system goes in a certain way, you just have to sort of accept that. Let's see. I doubt he'll find me. Well, sometimes people go middle. I didn't go to Strasbourg partially to try to dodge the hired scouts. I am getting over being sick, which is why my voice may sound different. Amsterdam and Nantes. Yeah. Amsterdam is commonly gone to, as is Nantes. Now I'm tempted to go to Amsterdam. And the Veil. Alright, this will help us. Trying to think what the worst thing he could grab is here. Maybe the desecrated soil? Did I have or a spy if I had one? Yeah, I did have a spy. Well, now I don't. That makes sense to grab. Makes sense to me. I think I'll do the saboteur trick. Even though it does open it up to being found by wax cylinders. And I'm liking not using misdirect on the starting location. I'd much rather have him find this location than the one with my encounter. Even if he does find it a turn ahead of time. Just a normal item trade. You see that a lot between Godleming and Mina early, because Godleming gets items twice as fast. Yeah, we'll go ahead and hide. Go down that saboteur. What the heck. I really shouldn't do that. If I was a true pro gamer, I would wait, but I always seem to forget to place the rumor token, and it's real important too. Now I think I'll go to 51, throw down a trash encounter, and then wolf form from 51. Ooh, Rufus Smith. Okay. Well, now I probably won't go north to the coast, as I was considering. Alright, game is afoot. That means they will certainly stake this vampire. I think I'll misdirect Nuremberg now, maybe go to it. Though there is a decent chance I get into a fight with them. An early fight is actually not that bad. It's actually pretty good. Now, of course, the bad thing is that there's a good chance I get jumped on by two of them. And then if I'm in their face, they have to choose between fighting me and going after my encounter, which is good. You want to make them have to make that choice. In the event they don't find me in Nuremberg, we will form out, probably to 59, depending on where they're located at the time. Maybe down to 57. Maybe up to 27. Nuremberg's a good good wolf form location. Maybe down to 36. He's probably trying to decide if he wants to trade, which he is. And Helsing and Dr. John Seward. Ugh, that's scary. It means he'll find the location, which only provides him a bit of help. I mean, he knows it's adjacent to Nuremberg, so it's not giving him that much more information. That's assuming that he's trading wax cylinders. Which I think is a fair assumption. And then if by some miracle we can wolf form without this location being discovered... Oh, I was going to say we misdirect it, but misdirect won't be off cooldown by the time that happens. Let's throw down something that might be helpful in a group fight. Honestly, a Desecrated Soil might be good. I'm going to play Desecrated Soil because I think I might take damage. This won't be helpful in a fight, but I can also use it to get encounters quickly. And it's less likely that they have a Heavenly Host now as opposed to later in the game, so the chance of it maturing is slightly higher. And if I get into a fight, I'm going to get hurt and need the healing from it, so yeah, I'll do that. Now if they stay in 58 this turn, I think we actually mosey on down to 38. Because again, a 1v1, even a 1v2 this early in the game is not the end of the world. The chance that we will be able to wolf form is quite high. Now we saw her have a knife earlier. Now they traded, which means Godalming likely has the knife. Should probably keep this open. If I was really good at the game, I would write all this information down, but that's too much effort. It's a big choice. See, I doubt he has the horse economy yet to want to risk doing a horse move to 41. Oh, okay, here we go. We'll probably get into a fight. And I'm okay with that. It's also not likely Mina's able to come in as reinforcements. Oh, okay. Interesting. We definitely want to get out of Germany because next turn they could very theoretically scan this location. And they'll most likely use a bunch of scanning to figure out some stuff. The presence of excellent weather is a little scary because the move from 57 to 55 is a pretty common use of excellent weather. Generally, it's good to use that. Though, I am a fan of using excellent weather later to jump to places like Cagliari or the UK. Okay, so we're staying put. I like the idea of the wolf form because even if Mina does faceplant into us here, we can pretty easily fight her in a 1v1. If I have a spy, that would be useful. She has a gun. There's a chance she also has a knife that she swapped that knife out and didn't actually... No, but Godalming has the knife. I mean, maybe she'd do another knife, but I don't think he'd give me free info unless he was trying to trick me. But maybe he did. Maybe he decided to do that. I don't have a lot of good items for this, so I guess I just go for the mob. Yeah, let's throw the mob down. That's better than the rats. Since she has a weapon, there isn't a ton we can do. Now, if he wolf forms back to 59, that's a big brain move. Like, how does he know we're here? What he's probably going to be doing is setting up for scans. But he might do this. He might want to scan Austria-Hungary. In which case, he's kind of far away from our encounters, which is a little nice, but it would be a really bad situation. But I could see him doing it. Him wanting to do the scans here. Of course, he could go to Mina, but I don't think he... Well, the advantage of going to Mina is that he has better rail access for getting into this part of Europe in the event that I'm not here. But no, he's just going to do the checks. We'll do the saboteur trick. Knife won't help him get rid of this saboteur. He'll need a pistol or a rifle, which he doesn't have, which is nice. That means that when he does get rid of this, when he does get rid of the vampire, he's going to waste a day action, or well, a night action, which is meaningless when he's at full health. Sister Agatha, yeah, he'll probably search... I don't know where he would search from here. There's a few good options. He probably wants to figure out this adjacency, so he knows where I will form from. Really? Fascinating. That would make Mina blundering into my space a little less of an advantageous situation. Just a little, though. Now, if by some miracle this vampire matures, it will get me this wolf form back. It's not going to, though. It would have to survive 2 whole turns against Godalming. No, Godalming's just going to use the stake. Take care of this. Which means I might get this desecrated soil, which is nice. Now I'll need to be careful here because we don't have our wolf form. We won't get our wolf form for a little while. So we'll want to be a little cautious here. We'll probably just make a beeline for the coast, which, since Rufus Smith is out of play, makes a lot of sense. But yeah, the vampire's gonna get staked. That's it's pretty inevitable. Godalming is very likely to have the stake. If he doesn't, ooh, that's actually going to be really good for us, because every time he tries to fight the vampire, he's going to get delayed. And we basically just have to play defense. Yeah, he has no real chance of killing the vampire without himself, without a stake. Especially considering that he has a horse. Ooh. The weather was traded, okay. She's got blood transfusion. As much as I want to be tricky, I don't think I need to. I'm just going to do a normal move. We'll throw down a Sisgani bodyguard. We'll at least get some... That at least has a mature effect that does something valuable. We'd prefer to have, like, vampires and stuff, but you don't always get what you want when you want it. And if we're forcing them to hold on to stakes early, it means our chance for fights is maybe good. Delayed again. No real significant effect with that. He probably still has the wax cylinders and is just deciding when to use it. We aren't in too much of a rush to run away because they're not really moving. Like, I haven't moved Seward yet, which makes me think that he had not a very good hand. Got some spectators, always fun to see. Probably move to 6. I do want to give myself a bit more space to throw down encounters. If I have a lot of time, I'll go 650, 46, 55, 3. That's sort of the dream situation. But I do think I have a lot of time to throw down a lot of encounters. Problem is I don't have a whole lot that have very good mature effects. I might even end up having enough time to do a dark call when the desecrated soil matures, which will then get me back up to full health. Dark Call only provides some value. He might not figure out that I went to 41. He might be tricked by the misdirect, but... no. I seem to remember Randiv being pretty good. He'll probably pick up on that. I hope he knows that when you misdirect a location, you can move to the location that turn. If he doesn't do it because he doesn't understand that rule... No, this is good. He's like, okay, I don't know where Dracula is, so I'm going to stay put and I'm going to get stuff. That's scary. That's what you're supposed to do. Let me guess. You discard it. Really? Wow. Okay. Wasn't expecting that. Trying to think what I would throw down next. Maybe the spy? Yeah, I guess the spy would be pretty good. Ah, you hate to see it. It's going to be a lot of events. Was discarded. Summon storms, hidden schemes, false tip. Not very bad. By that I mean those events aren't like super good for me, so it means theoretically there are nicer events in the deck. Let's see, I was going to go to 6. Yeah, I'll go with... Actually, I kind of want to save the spy for defense. Kind of. Good mature effects, though. I want to mess up his horse economy. Yeah, I'll throw down another desecrated soil. That seems like a good idea. Get a lot of encounter economy. And maybe get a heal out of it. We'll put the rats into Frankfurt. Unless I want to put the Saboteur, but I don't think I want to. He needs to be moving his people. Like, Seward needs to be... Okay, yeah, he's... Alright, well that was a good guess. But again, these people are not in position. 2 hunters, I mean, it's scary, but... it's not that scary. But for all he knows, I'm, you know, here. My number of possible locations is really high. But he's probably going to move Mina to 59 to check it very soon. Which is... but though if he doesn't... Well... Nah, I'd love to misdirect the location, but you can't. You can't misdirect a wolf form location. Obviously. That would be way too strong. But he's, like, he's absolutely going to go to 59. There's no reason for him not to. Unless he wanted to go to 57, but no, he's going to 59, yeah. Now, I'm tempted to misdirect 49 here. And, just so he doesn't know. Okay, let's get rid of bats, let's get rid of wolves, and let's get rid of... I kind of want the aristocratic. Let's get rid of the saboteur. I know you don't have to get rid of all 3, but I kind of want to. Especially with Behind the Veil gone. Oh, he didn't get rid of the desecrated soil. Okay, I might get some value out of that then. this only obfuscates a bit. Alright, I assume you'll hold on to everything. Maybe you'll get rid of the pistol, but I wouldn't suggest it. It's a lot of small cities between where you are and the large one. Tempted to misdirect 49, move to it, and then try to kill Mina. That could be fun. Could be fun. Let's misdirect this just to obfuscate at least. Could I win a fight? You know, I think I might be able to. This is a little silly that I'm swapping a bodyguard with another bodyguard, but promote Frankfurt to a lair. I'm gonna say no. I'm gonna say yes. I don't need two aristocratics. Throw that aristocratic in there. Alright, this is pretty risky, but I think I'll be hit by Mina alone. I'm not too scared of that. Especially because she'll be at 4 health. And 4 health is killable by claws, so she'll probably go with her gun and I'll go for strength. The other thing that she may likely do is escape, and in the event that she does... Okay, she ran away. That's fine, I'll move and throw down another damaging encounter. I do have one of those, right? Oh, I do not. Oh, that's unfortunate. Shouldn't have discarded those rats. Oh well. I can use, like... I don't know, something. Well, I'll probably just move and throw down fog. That might be the best move. Gonna get this Nuremberg? Sure. I think I might. It'll be just in time for me to take damage. The other nice thing that I could do is move. Nuremberg is here, and then I can move to C, and then actually heal, and then it's basically a free move, which is nice. Alright, you gonna move in my space? She might go 53, but surely she'd go 49. I don't think she has a horse to try to jump over it. Which is the other thing to do. Check 55 or something. If she does jump over me, which is the best possible circumstance, or worse, she goes to 53, then we actually go to 59. Because then they're going to be going down to Sophia and... Okay. Alright, well that kind of ruins that plan. Now they're going to know that I'm here. Ooh, a knight's... Oh, no. They have Mystic Research. So this is safe on their part. Dang, I really wanted that fight. But that's why it can be good to be safe. Now I'm tempted to go to 59, throw down the fog. If Godleming moves in... We use the fog. Well, no, if Godleming moves in, we actually wait until Mina moves in to use the fog. I know it's more likely for Warn triggers, but we actually want to do a 1v1. And if Godleming leapfrogs over us, and then Mina moves in, we catch Mina with the fog. And then we go in the middle, and then we're in the middle, and we're playing middle games, and then right as they're about to close in on us, that's just about when Wolf Form will come off cooldown. It means that this heal won't give us much, but... what can I say? I'm wanting to live dangerously. Yeah, 2v1 is really hard with Sister Agatha in play. But surviving till turn 3 and trying to escape his bat can be done. Godalming is scary because he has a knife. Mina likely has another cancel escape his bat. But, oh, I can't move here. Right. Okay, never mind. We'll just do this. We'll go to Valona. We'll throw down a, let's do a hoax. Yeah. And let's... Actually not gonna use this rumor token. Yeah, I think maybe we'll go to C. Well, don't know we went here. Even if it is a free move. I'm a little afraid of just landing in the Adriatic and, you know, getting CG'd or something. Could Dark Call. I kind of like that idea. Yeah, let's Dark Call. No reason to go to C. I could do with more event or encounters. I'll definitely have something to throw in Nuremberg. Oh wait, no, this would be maturing. Would be... Let's grab. What do they even have at Zagreb? Using horses? Wow, he must have 2 white ones or something. I hate getting 2 white ones on Seward. Because you really want Seward to move fast with the rails, and having him use horses, like, yeah, it's kind of fast, but it's so much faster to use rails. Well, maybe only a little faster. You don't usually see Dark Call. It's a bit of a rare move. And it's only... I'm only doing it now because of how the rules are implemented here. If the rules were implemented more like how they were in the board game, you actually slide first and then pick your move. Which usually is a disadvantage to Dracula, although I'm using it to my advantage here. Again, you know, things are a little more complicated than, oh, this is good, this is bad. Yeah, I think the misdirect confused him, me backtracking. Yeah, we'll Dark Call, move, use the fog if we need to. Here, folks. Could use Saboteur to protect this. I need a Dark Call this turn, though. Mina will heal up, as you do. No! It's a full heal for me, and a lot of very delicious cards. It's 2 fogs, I believe. Which is nice, you love to see that. Yeah, since Mina doesn't have horses, I don't think I avoid the fight here. Yeah, I think he's confused about what I did. See, I couldn't have gone back here because there's the grub on the trail. She's here and he checked there, so he should be like, where the heck is he? Why haven't I discovered his trail yet? He probably is able to deduce where I am, though. But because Mina doesn't have horses, I'm okay with moving here. Throw down a, I think an aristocratic or something. And then we'll 1v1 Godalming. Unless I want a fighting thing. Maybe a reckless vampire will hedge my bets, so to speak. Probably trading horses or some such thing. She might rail to me, scan, and then don't know where I am. Although he should be able to figure out that I'm here anyway. Just a little math. I could hide here, throw down fog. I don't know about that. I don't think we use the spy here. We definitely let her search. Unfortunately, she's just going to lose the pistol, which is not ideal. But it is what it is. We'll probably throw rats or something in Zagreb. Really important to layer up at this point, because I got to burn through these 10 encounters. You know, because I draw 5, but it doesn't make me, like, place these down any faster than normal. Which is unfortunate. An alternate plan is I, like, double damage encounter. I'm not convinced that's a good idea. Like, I go here and then hide and throw down another damage encounter. That seems a little risky to me. He doesn't have Rufus Smith to play. And what's nice is by the time we go to C, we'll have wolf form back. Not that we will necessarily want to be wolf forming from the ocean, but it is an option of which we have. He's trying to decide if he wants to trade events, or who he wants to trade events to. Van Helsing always takes longer turns. Yep, trading with Seward. And it doesn't say if they're trading events or items. That's something interesting. That is a difference in the board game and digital game. I suppose I should know if they're trading events or items, but not a huge deal. I have a standing desk, makes it more exhausting when you're not feeling well. We'll do the Reckless Vampire thing. Seems good. If Godalming blunders in here, I'm okay with it. Promotes a grab to a lair, yes please. Let's throw the... I'm actually going to throw the wolf. Well, I guess wolves are theoretically more useful. Let's throw the rats. And no reason to do that. Got a second Reckless that could be kind of nice. Should be at what, 8 encounters? Yeah. Because I placed one in here and then I used the lair for one. We might want to do the fog thing. In fact, that's probably what I'm going to do. Hide and throw down fog, since I'm sort of burning through my encounters kind of fast. Oh, you want to fight? Swing and a miss. Yeah, I think I've confused him with this whole thing. He's probably going to be like, what happened? What did I miss? And then he'll come back and watch this and be like, oh, you expletive. You backtracked on your trail and moved into Austria-Hungary. Though, he should know this, because didn't he scan me in Austria-Hungary? Or did they trade? Oh, I should have paid attention to that. Alright, well, I think I will hide and put down fog, then there's actually a reasonably good chance that the vampire matures. Alright, looks like they're engaging. Which is fine. Much rather see hunters moving than day supplying. Day supplying scary. Too scary. Yeah, I'll let you search. Yeah, we know she has a gun, so that's not really going to do anything. Spy may mature. That could be nice. We'd probably use the spy on... Well, we actually think he has a weapon, and we know she has a weapon. Maybe Seward? Actually, I have a feeling that Seward has some white ones in his hand, given that he didn't rail here. So, but he has a big hand, so the chances of him having a weapon are pretty high. And he did trade with Van Helsing, so it's possible one of those white ones is shifted over to him. Yeah, I think I'll pick Van Helsing. That's probably a good idea. Though the argument for picking Mina is if she does discard the weapon, it's going to be a while before she can get another one. But do I really think she's going to move into my space? Man, I really don't think so. The nice thing about a hoax is it's kind of a check to see if she's going to use a stake, you know. Ooh. I don't think this is as good of a play as you think it is. That's a good spot for consecrated ground. That's going to be an annoying thing. Yeah, he thinks... Oh, no, this is not... No, this is not how you want to use consecrated ground. I am more than No, I'm not in 59. I know you think you have me. I know you think you've tricked... I wanted to move to 59, but no, 50... Yeah, he did the math wrong. No, I'm not in 59, buddy. I'm sorry. Oh, you hate to see it. Oh, you hate to... If I was in 59, great, very good play. Excellent play. But no. Oh, man, you hate to see it. But I'm going to do that because I'm Dracula, and you want to give people false senses of security because you do want to play as the evil guy. So that when people encounter evil guys, they have had the chance to go against the simulation of it and do better. Alright, let's hide. I guess bats would accomplish the same thing. Actually, do I have a saboteur? I do not. Let's do... oh goodness, do I want to do bats or fog? Let's do fog. And I'm going to do this, because there's a chance that I forget. But yeah, part of what this game and the vampire genre in general is about, and what I think the message of horror is that no matter how evil or terrible some great monster can be, you can always fight against it. And sometimes you'll lose. But that's okay, you know. You're going to die at some point. Question is, are you going to die with an empty magazine or not? And that's really the message of Dracula. And, you know, if you're just running away and being scared and succumbing to the machinations of evil, then you've already died, in a sense. And, yeah, you know, what Harker decides is he's like, okay, I'm trapped in this castle full of vampires. They're gonna kill me. I can't escape. There's wolves all around, and I'm up in this tower. And what do? It's like, well, I'm gonna climb down this tower and try to get into Dracula's room. And if I fall and die, then that's God's will, and I'm gonna try it. And then he gets into Dracula's room, and then he whacks Dracula in the face with a shovel, steals some money, and runs. And you know what? He makes it. There are people who face Dracula that didn't make it. And maybe the big evil thing that you face you won't make. But if you can have the mindset of a hunter, of trying to survive, then I think that's good. It's not enough to live a great life. You also have to die a great death. To quote a song from a movie I haven't seen, which I'm sure the song is not suddenly revealed to be about a villain, but you know what? I like the idea of hunters living the greatest lives and dying the greatest deaths. I don't want to see the rest of that movie. That song is cool enough as it is. Oh, that's interesting. To show the consecrated ground marker. Excellent spot for this, by the way. That is definitely going to be a pain in the noun. A real pain in the noun. Okay, the matured spy effect. The matured bodyguard. I won't say no to it. I'll never say no to a matured bodyguard. And for some reason I thought I threw down another desecrated soil. I guess not. But yeah, that's why I don't really understand like gore horror. Like, you know, like I don't enjoy seeing stuff diced up and bloody. Like I understand like in terms of like wanting realism, and there's value in that as fiction. But some people seem to like enjoy that bit. And that is like, hey, like, so I can understand that if you're like a psychopath or like a sadist or something, and like you enjoy seeing the suffering in others. Like I get that. Or maybe if there's some sort of medical fascination with the inside of the human body and seeing that is kind of interesting to you. It's still weird that you like want to see someone hacked up with a buzzsaw or something. Like, I don't enjoy that. And I kind of feel like if someone enjoys that, that is a sign of them having various bad problems. Like, I understand, like, establishing that a monster is a threat. Like, oh man, you see that monster and how it dashed up that person? Oh man, that's really nasty. They really better kill this monster. And it's like, oh yeah, I want to see them kill this monster because that monster did all these bad things. It's, what is it Andrew Clavin said when someone was trying to get him to write a horror movie, and he was like, okay, but like, if I'm watching a movie about a story, the difference between you and me is that if I see a story of a guy with a knife chasing a woman in the forest, I'm rooting for the woman. And like, I don't understand how that's like a controversial opinion or feeling. Like I would think everyone would feel that way. Nobody wants the killer to win. Nobody actually thinks Dracula is the good guy. And if you do, you have serious moral problems that you need to think about yourself. I mean, Dracula in some iterations is kind of funny. And powerful beings, even if they're evil, are cool, because superpowers are cool. And it can be cool to see a superpowered being do superpowered things, even if they're evil. So, like, that aspect of it I can see. But, like, I don't know. It seems like a lot of horror is written from, like it's a superhero story, but the superhero is just, like, the villain, and they just show the villain being villainous a bunch of times, and then winning in the end. Now, I do understand. Now, part of me feels like, oh, is this like in the horror genre, you don't know if the villain is going to win or the good guys are going to win. Now, see, that's cool if that's the intent. It's like, oh yeah, sometimes in horror stories, sometimes the villain just wins. So, like, you don't know if you're watching one where the heroes win or the villain wins. See that? Okay, all right, I can get behind that. That makes. I feel like that can be cool. Let's see. We want to. No, let's mature this. Let's pick Stan Belsing. I'm guessing you don't have a weapon. Looks like you do. But it seems like it's not a, what was I talking about? You don't want the villain to win. And, like, you shouldn't enjoy seeing people be dashed up. Like, even if it's, like, a bad guy. Like, I don't enjoy that. Even if it's, like, it's the most evil person in the world. Like, you shouldn't enjoy killing even evil people. It's like if you have if you have a gangrenous arm and you need to get it cut off. Okay, it's good that, that's getting cut off because you'll survive, but, like, you shouldn't enjoy the process. You shouldn't be like, oh yeah, it's so cool that my arm is getting cut off. I mean, I guess technically it is that, medical science is advanced to the degree that you can get your arm cut off and save you, but, like, it's not a good thing. And, like, we don't want people to be evil. We want people to be redeemed, which actually is another message in Dracula. Mina is like, yeah, Dracula is very evil, but he was probably turned this way by some other evil vampire, like, just like I'm being corrupted. And, like, we should pity him to a degree that he's evil. And that someone being evil is a thing to pity about them. Like, they shouldn't be evil. Dracula's natural state is not as the evil person. And then they have that conversation, and they're like, yeah, and then they're like, so yeah, but like we're still gonna kill this guy, right? And they're like, oh yeah, we're gonna kill the bleep out of this guy. Like, none of that changes the fact about it. And then when they do drive the stake into Dracula's heart and kill him, it's like the evil is removed, and then for a split second, he's like, he has this look on his face like, oh, thank you. Thank you that you have stopped, like, his conscience returns, and he has this look on his face of peace and happiness that his evil has been stopped finally, and he dies. You won't see any of this stuff in any modern adaptation, but you'll be like, oh, Dracula is, like, to be pitied, and he's really, he's really the hero of the story, and and it's just a problem with the culture or something that drove him to this. And it's like, oh, guys, people just don't read the book, and I get it. It's old Victorian style novels. It's hard to read, hard to understand, and you want to read Cliff Notes, but there's a lot of details and specifics in that, and it's not. You can't just pick your own meaning and apply it to a book. That's not how studying, like, anything works. Like, if I want to read a map, I can't be like, well, I think the map is trying to say this. I think the map is, like, trying to say that the mountains are in these positions and the road is actually going in, like, this direction. That's what I feel. I feel that this road is going, like, north by southwest, which isn't even a real direction, but because I believe in my mind that it is, that's what I think the map is saying. It's like, well, no, the map has specific directions. If I'm looking at history, I don't go into it being like, oh, well, see, in my mind, what I think, like, the real lesson of, like, the Ottoman siege in Malta is that, the Ottomans really were the good guys and deserved to conquer Malta. And it's like, okay, no, what you do is you look at the actual events that transpired and try to learn the lessons that happened from it. Like, oh, these things happened, people made these decisions, and these different people succeeded or failed in their various pursuits, or not, and what can we learn from that? And it's, let's see, to a lair, yeah, we want to lair. Throw some bork nom noms in there. And yeah, fiction is the exact same way. You look at fiction the same way you look at history. I mean, you understand, that this didn't happen. But when you're reading fiction, you sort of have this assumption of, like, okay, but if this did happen, what would we learn from it? And in the end, the good guys win and the bad guys die. And some of the good guys are brutally killed. Like, spoilers, by the way, Quincy Morris. But Quincy Morris's last words are the best line in the book. And one of the best lines in fiction. He says, "Look, it was worth it to die. Look, her forehead, the snow is not more stainless than her forehead." Look, pointing at Mina and how the curse has been lifted. And that it's worth it. I don't think you have a stake. I think you used your stake. I maybe made a huge mistake. Haha, stake. Okay, his Quincy's last words are more than that, but it's the idea of, you know, choosing and being willing to die in order to cause a good thing to happen and to save someone that you care about. And you know, Mina is just some woman to him. I mean, there's no romantic thing going on between Quincy and Mina. Mina's married. But you know, it's to save anyone and to stop. And ultimately, the whole story is about everyone trying to band together and save Mina. Everyone trying to band together and help restitute this wrong done to this victim who's been assaulted in this allegory for sexual assault. And a lot of the psychological stuff going on with that, and the way we can interpret that is because it works as that, even if you take out all the connotation. You want to look at what actually happened. There was a woman who was physically assaulted in a way that she couldn't protect from, and then people had to make a decision on how to deal with that, both emotionally and tactically. And the book goes into a lot of the emotional stuff of dealing with this kind of thing, and then also with the tactical stuff, because as we would like to pretend that it's very... some parts of life are very complicated, and some parts are very simple. And the bit about is like, okay, this person assaulted a woman, so we kill the hell out of him now. I mean, that's pretty simple. I mean, it doesn't get more complicated than that. Some things in life are complicated. That is a thing of which is not complicated. Alright, I trapped both of them in fog. Wahoo! Look at me, I'm so smart. That feels pretty good. And you don't have to look at any sort of connotation or like, oh, what did the author mean when he said this? You know what? The author's dead, and what he wrote down is what he wrote down. If there were other secret cliff notes that were like, oh, and this part means this, and this part means that, he should have included it in the book. When you're reading a map, or running a program, or reading a rule book, or reading a law, you know, it's what it says. It's what the words say. And yeah, okay, you look back at connotation and language to determine what the words mean in a literal sense. You know, oh, is this a slang meaning? Oh, did this word change meaning over time? What did this word mean at the time when it was used, so that we know, you know, what is literally being said? But like, in terms of connotation behind it, or like what the message of the story is, a message of a story should be a type of thing that anyone can look at and figure out based on the events that happen in the story. And it's really dangerous when people are like, oh, well, that's cool, that's your interpretation. Well, no, it shouldn't be any interpretations, and truth doesn't belong to any one person. Truth is an absolute. It doesn't rely on who's looking at it. It is the way that it is, and nothing we do will ever change that. Promote Valona to a lair. I kind of like that idea. Maybe I'll throw some bats in there? Well, they're probably going to go to the ocean. I'm going to say no to this. Yeah, and I'm dropping off here because, like, he probably knows where I am. Maybe I'm giving him too much information, and I should have obfuscated more. In fact, I almost certainly should have done that. Maybe I'll hide here. I kind of like that. Or feed here. Don't think I'll Dark Call. But when anyone can make up their own meaning to anything, then there's no meaning to anything. Which, of course, there is. You know, we live in a physical world where when we do things, things happen. And it's not like my personal opinion can change anything in the world, so why should my personal opinion change anything in a fictional world? Opinions are what we think is absolute. And, okay, we can be wrong, but if we're wrong, we should try to fix that. And if two people are conflicting, you can't just be like, oh, well, you know, that's your opinion, that's my opinion, you know, we'll just get along. I mean, that's what you say when you want to get along, but one of you is right, or neither of you are right. And maybe getting to the bottom of it is something that you can't do, or it's too much trouble, or it'll be too destructive for you guys to argue it out. But that doesn't mean that the truth doesn't exist somewhere. Maybe it's a truth that we can't comprehend, but to say that, like, two conflicting statements can both be true, like, that can't be true. The message of a book can't be... The message of Dracula can't be the traditional values of marriage and positive masculinity are what defeats sexual assaults and authoritarian oppression in sexual oppression. But then they can't also be that, oh, sexual repression is really bad and people should just pursue all of their and any sort of sexual inclination, and that's a good thing. You know, those are conflicting messages. They can't both be true. And so you look at the events of the story to determine which of those it supports. And one of the big things you look at is, oh, who won in the end? Oh, who's portrayed as evil? Oh, what is it the characters say? What are the arguments in that? What are the things that the characters say and argue for? And are those refuted either by the events or by other people? And so, no. Yeah, there's a reason why most of the book of Dracula follows the hunters and listens to what the hunters say. There's a reason why Van Helsing is on screen, so to speak, more than Dracula is, because he's a more important character than Dracula. And what he has to say about good and evil, and positive femininity and positive masculinity, and the power of laughter in the face of overwhelming, distressful evil, and all of those things. Really, the story of Dracula is about all of the good forces in the world against all of the evil forces in the world. And it goes through a lot of them, whether that's positive masculinity, positive femininity, the camaraderie of friendship, the power of laughter, the power of technology, and telegraphs, and typewriters, and trains, and Winchester rifles, and the power of God. All of these things are like... The book is about all the value in all of these positive good things, and how that ultimately defeats ultimate evil. And that's why ultimate evil loses in the end. And if you think otherwise, you're wrong. Let's see, I wanted to feed. Yeah, let's do that. I do that. And if he excellent weather's in, it's a 1v1, so I don't hate it too much. Like, surely he knows I'm in Cagliari at this point. So me going to Mediterranean isn't, like, super bad. And he's used consecrated ground, so I shouldn't be scared at all, really. Now, he'll probably get some renewed vigors, which will be a little scary. But we'll be over in this region where rails are a big deal. And so he'll kind of have to choose between horse economy and rail economy, which is good. Although horses are... There's really very few places on the map where horses are bad. Basically, it's like this route here. It's just very efficient to use with rail. So part of me is thinking we will form to 48. And then we maybe move to 34 and hide. I don't know if we'll have time for that. It depends on how quickly he can hunt us down. There's a reasonably good chance that he hypnosises immediately once we wolf form, which would be a good move. Ooh, I don't know about that move. Well, I guess he has to go to 13. Yeah, I guess he has to go to 13 at some point, so... Yeah. I like our position right now, actually. Mina and Godliving are actually pretty out of position, even with the excellent weather. Which, at this point, they probably should use. But yeah, before any debate or any discussion can happen, or any conversation, or like the concept of communication, relies on the idea that the truth exists somewhere and let's go try to find it. Like, that's the whole basis of human speech, is the idea that truth exists, let's try to figure it out, and if I see it, I will communicate that to you. And then if I'm wrong, you can communicate to me that I'm wrong and explain it to me in a way that my human calculating computer brain can then figure out, because we both are able to use the same programming and understanding of what a true thing is. And you believe that whether you think you do or not. And claiming that you don't is really just lying to yourself. It's like saying that absolutes don't exist or truth doesn't exist. You know, the joke always being, well, do you believe that absolutely? Or how do you know? It's like, the one truth I know is that truth doesn't exist. You know, it's a self-contradictory statement. Or the statement, I don't believe language exists. I mean, you're saying it with language. And it's one of those things that's so dumb, it's hard to really figure out where to start arguing against it, because it's like it's when something's so broken you don't know how to put it back together. Like, I don't know if you know anything, so how can I rely on your logic or any knowledge you have to try to point you in the direction of something that is true? Which is why people don't believe it, because people aren't that dumb and aren't that stupid, and they actually do believe things and actually do believe, in truth. Really, when people are saying that, they just want to believe what they believe and don't want to be challenged on it, which is a really dangerous worldview to have. If your worldview is so weak that it can't be challenged, that should make you kind of scared. Do I want to make a desecrated soil here? I think I do want to. I'm going to clear this one. Because by the time more matures happen, I don't think healing is what I want. I think I'd rather get points to win. If you're believing a philosophy that can't stand up to any sort of scrutiny or debate or challenge, either you need to understand more about your philosophy, because maybe it can stand up to scrutiny or debate or challenge, and maybe it is actually a strong belief and you just have missed something or don't understand something about it, or there's some argument about it you don't know. Or you're believing something wrong, and honestly, the most terrifying thing, I think, is believing something that's wrong. Like, it's hard enough to do things that are correct and, like, make effort towards a cause. Like, that's hard to do. But if you're making effort towards a cause or that is wrong, then you're being counterproductive. And it would be better if you did nothing. And, like, that's scary. That should, like, scare the splat out of you. Which is why it's so important to know if you're right, and to constantly be questioning it and researching it and being like, well, hold on, is this true? Is it really true? That's one of the bases of the scientific method, is that it's constantly questioning and re-questioning itself. And so if you shouldn't be afraid of that. It should be able to stand up to scrutiny. Or if it doesn't stand up to scrutiny, you look up for more information, because often the answer is that, well, there's something that we don't know. There's something that we don't understand. That's the other really important thing to understand, is that the truth exists and we probably don't know it. Or, well, no, that's too simplistic. We definitely don't know all of it. The world is complicated. Most things are complicated, so, we aren't going to know everything about the world. And that's okay. You start getting into a bad way of things when you think, oh, we figured this thing out. Now we know it. Now we don't have to question it anymore. It's like, oh, it's probably more complicated than you think. What am I doing? Oh yeah, I'm playing Fury of Dracula. I should probably keep my mind on the game and not, what is this? Eschatology, I think? Study of truth? Very important to get this wrong. And because people often think that someone's just being, like, very, like, pretentious or proud when they're like, yes, I believe the truth, and if you don't believe this, you're wrong. Sure, there's probably a way of saying that isn't as rude sounding, but everybody thinks that whether they admit it or not. Nobody believes something that they don't think is true. That's the meaning of the word belief. Like that's what the word means. Yeah, I think I'm just gonna land. As much as wolf forming here is really good, I don't think the amount of obfuscation that I'll be getting is all that great. I think I start machine gunning out vampires. That seems like a good idea. Now, one trick I could do is go to Madrid and then do double bats. The first time they move in, I ambush with the bats, move them away. Second time they move in, I ambush with the other bats. That could be fun. Yeah. And to be sure, there are a lot of stuck-up people who are like, oh yeah, this is what I believe, and if you don't believe it, you're wrong. But really, what's actually going on there is that the problem is not the idea that they believe in something is true. What is actually going on is they're basically, the implication that you're thinking is, oh, this person thinks I should believe it because it's what they believe. Not because here's the logic, here's the evidence, here's what's been observed, and here's why that means XYZ. Which is the actual reason why you should believe something or not believe something. It's like, oh, here are the facts, here are the evidence. See, that's persuasive, as opposed to, oh, I believe it, therefore you should believe it. Like, that's not persuasive. But people assume that that's what people mean when they say, I believe it, and if you don't believe it, you're wrong. Because they're sort of restating something that everyone already believes anyway, that they believe things that they think are true. And if you think something's true, it means you think that it is true for everyone. And by true for everyone, I mean the truth of the situation doesn't change depending on who's observing it. A 10-foot pole is 10 feet high no matter who's looking at it. Even if someone looks at it and there's something wrong with their eyes, like the actual physical reality of the pole doesn't change. And what people apply incorrectly here is that it's like, oh, well, it's my taste. Or that is like, oh, this ice cream tastes good to me, and that other ice cream doesn't taste good to me, so it's just relative based on my opinion. Well, no, okay, that's still technically not really relative, because the absolute reality of what your taste buds are doing when you lick the ice cream, that is absolutely true, and that doesn't change who's observing that data. If someone's other's tongue is licking it, well, that's a different circumstance that's happening. You're describing different circumstances here. And the absolute reality of the ice cream cone doesn't change. The ice cream cone's molecular makeup is still the same. Its color is still the same. Its shape is still the same, even if a different person licks it. So what people are describing, where it's like, oh, my opinion or your opinion or whatever, that's I want to go to 48. I think I go to 48 because I think they might do I think they might do Renewed Vigor here. And if they do Renewed Vigor, the second action will force them back. And then the question is, do I want to... I want a wolf form. Which I might want to. The ideal circumstance is Van Helsing moves into my space alone, and then I fight him alone. That would be really good. I don't know if I can pull that off, though. Okay. There's a pretty good chance he moves in. But there's also a half-decent chance he goes to 54. Oh. No, the problem is... Yeah, this is the weakness to me not wolf forming. He should know where I am. Although if they've been doing good... yeah. I was going to say, if they're doing good horse economy, they won't be railing here, but he's using Sense of Emergency, and that's a good time to use it. So it looks like we'll have a 2v1. So it could be worse. It could be much worse. Oh, okay. That was fortunate. Well, I think we'll definitely be wolf forming now. Okay. Where do you want to go? If it goes to 48, we'll do the bats. I don't think I could be there. Oh, yeah, I think it was a misplay. We wolf form to 15 here. We absolutely wolf form to 15. No question about it. We'll throw down a vampire, because generally it's a good idea to throw down a vampire when you wolf form Hypnosis. That would be kind of useful right about now, don't you think? Well, not really. He knows I'm here. Hypnosis actually wouldn't be that useful at this moment. Oh, he's used Consecrated Ground, so I actually can escape into England and not be too scared about it. Which I think is what I should do. Yeah, going to 8 I kind of like, because again, we're pretty sure he doesn't... Well, he has horses. Pretty sure he doesn't have a 3 move, so I think it'll be a 1v1. Yeah, I could wolf form to 8, throw down a vampire, and then I have a pretty good fight against him. Yeah, let's go to 8. Then maybe go to C. That could be good. I can dig that. And if they don't stick around too long, maybe I can throw down a second vampire, though I don't think I have one. Now, the nice thing is that since the fog was already used, the fog will be in the reshuffle. Of course, the ideal situation is that we have 2 fogs in the reshuffle. I think I actually had a game where I was able to pull off 4 fogs. That was pretty great. I don't know if I'll be able to pull that off now, though. I might be able to. We're definitely going to wolf form. Do I misdirect? No. I don't want to hide. I'm not going to wolf form into a hide. We'll go to 8. We'll throw down the vampire. And I think we might hide and throw down the fog, depending on if they move into our space. And then we won't turn this into a lair, so the reshuffle doesn't happen. So if they move into our space, we use the fog, and then there's 2 fogs in the deck and we reshuffle. Then we go to C for a little while, maybe get some events back with some lairs, and then we'll have fog for the final go. At least that's the theory. Man, I'm going to have to do a lot of day moves to get all that health back. What's my health at? 12? Okay. Here, I don't know. No, this will be fine. It'll be fine. And we don't turn Cagliari into a lair, because we don't want to force the reshuffle. Alright. Well, I should be able to at least score some points here. You railing? No. Surely not. I don't think you have a stake. You've used 2 stakes at this point. I don't think you've got one. If you are holding on to stakes at this... Oh, you don't. Actually, no, you don't have a stake. You've used all 4 stakes, so we absolutely do not ambush here. Oh, he might get me. He might get me. If he does, we move and throw down fog on 39. And if I had a nickel for the number of times, yeah, I think he's gonna get me. Alright, here we go. Have a vampire. Ooh, a card. It's a heroic leap, planned ambush, garlic grease. Probably not garlic grease. Surely not. Surely not. Okay. I'm thinking we just throw a fangs at him. That's a good idea, right? Yeah, I like points. I'm generally a fan of it. Let's try it out. Ooh! Hot, dang, I'll take that. Man, really risky to try a Heavenly Host against a Reckless Vampire. Of course, Van Helsing can take bites for days, so doesn't accomplish a lot, although I will be able to see his hand. Wait, doesn't he get... No, I was going to say, he doesn't get 2 bites. If he was mesmerized and then I did this, I believe he would actually get 2 bites from it. But I could be wrong about that. Okay, what's Van Helsing have? I need to do this real quick. He has another Heavenly Host! Holy cow, that's dangerous. Woo, 2 Heavenly Hosts! Ay. That's scary. And he has a horse. Is his other thing. Well, I kind of like this fight. Surely he's going to use like a planned ambush or something, or his heroic leap if he has it. Yeah. Good play. Ooh, 1 health. No, I'm gonna get dumpstered by these guys. There's no way I stay and try to kill him. No, I'm gonna move and throw down the fog. I wonder if he used... Oh, you know what he did? Oh, that was really clever. He used the Heavenly Host because he did not want to take any damage. And he's like, if I take damage, Van Helsing will die to the heroic leap. I need to use the Heavenly Host. Oh, wow. Man, good play, Randiv. Wow, good play with the HH to avoid the HL death. That's really good. See, normally you'd be like, why would you use Heavenly Host there? Like, no. Bites are okay, damage is not. And that way I score 1 point instead of 4 points. Ah. Very clever. Yeah, let's go here. I'm gonna throw down Fog. Promote Cagliari to a lair. No. And what's nice here is when we go to C, we are able to we don't draw a new encounter for the foreseeable future. So it's enough time for this fog to trigger, so it goes in the discard pile. Renewed vigor. Okay, if you have forewarned, that's good. But does he have it? If he has it, I'm probably dead here. Which is, man, really kind of feels bad, man, because I'm 1 away from the 3 to spare. Which I am more and more understanding the reason for this scoring mechanism in the tournament. Where you get an extra 2 points if you survive to the final turn. Oh, okay, here we go. Do you have it? I mean, he's going to go to 38-9. I can't imagine he would go to 15. No, he's going to 39. Alright, you got it? Whoo! Ah! Phew! This game is too scary of a game. Oh, I could hide, get points. And feed? Man, I don't know about that. Could go to 29. I kind of like that idea, but I maybe like the idea of going to see more. Another fog? No, I don't. No, I don't have another fog. So yeah, now I got the 2 fogs in here. So it's going to be 2 of 17. That is what Renew's is actually about. Oh, yeah. Technically, he should be able to use the second Renewed Vigor to get rid of the... yeah, I'm going to say it's weird. The way the game interprets becoming undelayed. I think there's a chance you have a... No, there's no way you guys have stakes. I know you don't. Ooh, is this going to mature? Then I'm definitely going to run the clock out. Oh, yeah. This is interesting. Making him waste a second action here, which I'm okay with. I don't get the benefit of getting a point because I'm not ambushing him. He's actually looking for me here. And ambush. Yeah, I can understand that. We're going to want to play this safe, though you can't play it very safe with the Reckless Vampire, hence the name. So yeah, he's got the planned ambush. Always check this. Very often I think a different person played it than actually did. So Fangs is generally very risky, Strength is less risky. In fact, Strength is, I think, the least risky. So I will go with the Strength for this. If he has a Heavenly Host, I would much rather him use his Heavenly Host on the Reckless Vampire than on me. Whereas if he swaps for a dodge, okay, not so bad. Whereas like Mesmerize, there could be a Crucifix, and then I always know that he has a punch. So I will take a damage. Strength is the safe play. It's the good card. Watch my guide. I mean, it's a good card for defending you. It's actually not, and it's okay for being aggressive. Yeah, he just goes dodge. And now I don't have to worry about planned ambush. Now I just need to survive a little longer, and then escape. I think we do Mesmerize next. And if we get punched, I think maybe we Fang. Unless we do a Strength, then we go Strength. Yeah, let's Mesmerize. Oof. Yep, that's good. That's good use. Just need to survive one more round. If we draw Strength, that'll be good. I don't think we go Mesmerize if we draw it. Yeah, I'm gonna go for the Fangs here. You could play a knife or another, or garlic, or any number of things. Yeah. All right. Such is how it goes. Well, a garlic and a crucifix. Honestly, good things for killing individual vampires. And he'll be able to heal with Seward here, so all that hard work will be gone. Very annoying. I don't know what happens if you push these buttons. I assume nothing. Is it even worth it for Mina to move at this point, or should you just supply and try to get events? I think it is worth it for her to move. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Oh no, the game might be over by then. It might be, yeah. I think he has the right idea. Well, of course, with Renewed Vigor, unless he can double move, he should just be supplying anyway. Aha, nice. Glad to see it on her and not a hunter who matters. Money Trail. Oh, okay. Well then. I guess that's that. Alright. It's foggy. Avoid combat. Yes. Well, since he doesn't have consecrated ground, that's just going here. Well, no, but he'll be able to go here to catch us. No, but hold on. 3, 6, 9, 12. Oh, actually, we can go 3, 6, misdirect 9, and then 12. Oh, we will actually get enough to win if we just do North Atlantic. See, normally I would hide here, or normally I would move it to sea again and go to England. Although, if he's going to let Barcelona mature... Yeah. Now, the thing is, Mina has the money trail. He really needs to get that over to Godalming. Now, he may have a speedy telegraph, which will allow him to have Mina go first. Okay, Godalming is doing what Godalming would do in a fog place. Now, I'm pretty scared. One of them should go North Atlantic, I think. At least, that would be a bad thing for them to do. Okay, fast forcing to 29. I understand that move. Oh, okay. I was gonna say what? No, you're gonna try to kill this vampire. Which don't you have like no stakes? Oh, did you get a deck reshuffle? Oh, they did. Oh, so he probably has a stake. Ah, dang. Oh well. The ambush I don't think would have gotten me much of anything. But that means if I land now, it's basically going to have to be a 1v1 against a Stan Velsing. Can I beat a Stan Velsing? I know he has horses. See, the big brain play actually here would be to get rid of your horses. You don't need horses in the UK. And arguably, you don't really need them here, although that's not really true. You know, like horsing to here is very fast. But you definitely don't need them here. Assume you're trading for the money trail? Wait, you're trading now? Oh, he's in a rush to use it. Yeah, no, because I know you don't have consecrated ground, I'm not afraid of this nonsense. Now maybe he has Vampire Lair, and that'll complicate things. But I think I've got this. Of course, if the vampire matures, it's even more so. What do I have here to mature? Bats? Ugh. That's basically a waste at this point. Even if Seward moves in, I mean, I guess it'll get him out of the fight, but I'm gonna have to deal with both of them. And 2 is more than enough to kill me at 5 health. Yeah, that's a scary circumstance. Still, that was a really brilliant play to avoid the heroic leap death. Because that'd be huge, you know, that would have been 4. I'd have 4 points now instead of 1. And he'd go back here and have to discard his horses. But again, horses aren't as big of a deal now, but it also sets you back quite a ways. Jonathan Harker, probably just search with this because you want Sister Agatha. Where does he have Rufus in play? Doesn't he have Sister Agatha in play? Yeah, Sister Agatha. Oh, not a stake. Ooh, let's see if I can get a bite here. That'd be fun. Now, he has a crucifix. He has garlic. That's good to know. I think we plot. For that reason. Plotting is good against crucifix and garlic. and dodge, all of which are decent moves. In the event that he doesn't, maybe claws? I find it hard to believe. Plotting, that's what I want. Okay. Now maybe he has holy bullets. The question is, what do I want here? I think the answer is... Is it just strength? Do I just try to survive? Yeah, I guess it's strength. As much as it'd be nice to mesmerize and bite, but I think I have all the pieces for that anyway. So you do have holy bullets. Will slightly complicate things? Looks like he doesn't. Okay. I don't think I'll get the healing because... So he has a crucifix, he has a garlic, and he has holy bullets. Is that all he has? No, he has something else. This was played, and that's what he has in his hand. I certainly don't think we mesmerize. Let's try strength. Maybe I can break something. Okay. Going claws here doesn't make a lot of sense. It's risky to go mesmerize. Man, he's really kitted up pretty well. Yeah, I think we survive until we just run away. Like, he's gonna have to come to us. He'll probably be able to kill us in the day, though, which is unfortunate. The thing is, his garlic also beats claws. Maybe I go claws here? Ah, man. So much of a coin flip on each of these. And he has so many items that the plotting doesn't really help us all that much. Yeah, I guess strength is the good hedge. I'll probably break one of his two things. I guess I might as well. That was really good, though. That was really his best play. I think we mesmerize and then escape is missed. Because if we mesmerize and he plays the crucifix, then that means we know we can escape is missed. If we mesmerize and he doesn't play the crucifix, then we will have canceled whatever it is he's doing, unless he did punch, which I feel like is unlikely given he has so many really good items. Although punch is still always pretty good, but it seems like he probably wouldn't punch when he has a crucifix. Crucifix isn't a wait, what did I say I was doing? Oh yeah, mesmerize. Crucifix isn't a strict upgrade to punch. Obviously, punch does a lot more things than crucifix does, but okay. Do I go for the bite? Man, I really think we don't. I can't imagine we try to bite him here. That just seems like such a fool's errand. No, I'm gonna escape his mist. I might crucifix and cancel this, which would be good if he does, if he pulls that off. Hey, look at him. Then at this point, I guess we assume he's going garlic and we go claws? Just for the damage? Because, he wouldn't want to get a bite, so I can't imagine that he would go for the gun. Yeah, okay. So we'll get the damage in, we'll take 2 damage from this. And that'll make it so when he does fight us next turn, we're going to be a little weak. Or he's going to be a little weak. I mean, we will too. We're down to 2 HP, that's rough. But we know what he has. Crucifix, garlic, and a gun. But he has time to kill us. He has 2 more actions. He might heal an attack. It's actually probably what I imagine that he'll do. What do I have? I want a defensive encounter of some kind. Guess a reckless vampire is kind of defensive. Oh, how much health do you have? 7? Yeah, it's better to use the mob, I think. Alright, getting points on the board. Yeah, I think the best play for Seward is to heal and then try to kill me at night. Because since it's 2 health, he basically has to just really hope that he can get that opening guess correctly. Newspaper reports, I mean, it provides some value, although, no, he should know this. Yeah, he checked to lose. I guess, I don't know, I mean, might as well use it, I suppose. Yeah, we can win here. We can score 12 points just in Ireland. That 1 point from the Reckless Vampires coming in clutch. And this is when Vampire Lair would be pretty annoying to see. Why I did what I did. Yeah, I would not have done this move if Consecrated Ground had not yet been played. Because this is just a death trap. Consecrated Ground is played. There's so many Christians this area. It's just real dangerous for vampires. Ireland and the UK just crazy with Christians. Just like you can't swing a dead cat without hitting a Christian. I think I have this. I'm trying to think what he could do to beat me. I suppose a renewed vigor from here, he could land and then horse or sense of emergency. He could move into my space. I don't think he'd be able to hit me with 2 hunters, but again, I'm only at 5 health, and I'm not going to be able to heal past that. And he has Sister Agatha in play. A single hunter can kill Dracula. With only 2 items, it'll be a bit tricky, but it can be done. Thought I knew all your tricks. Oh, thank you. What trick am I doing that you don't know? I guess this was kind of a tricky thing when I moved back into 49 with the misdirect. Strider's taking notes. Oh, that's funny. Okay, alright. got a connectivity issue. That happens on occasion. It'll say that he's left. It will ask me replace with an AI until they rejoin. No! That is the most dangerous button to accidentally misclick. They'll rejoin. Can't imagine there was any bug that's happened. Not like there's an encounter or anything. Or speedy telegraph being in play. Alright. Man, I'm so glad they fixed this. It used to be every time you got one of those disconnect things, the games would just end and you couldn't progress. Now that they have reconnection issues and you can leave and come back, that fixes like 80 or 70% of, maybe 85% of all the various problems. I haven't had a game not be able to progress. Man, I can't remember the last time I had a game not be able to progress. Every now and then we've had a bug where it's like, okay, I can't double ambush with this encounter, and that's annoying. Remember, if you're watching this, it means that the game worked, because I only upload games that finish, except that one. Ah, yes, okay. It works. Excellent. That is an interesting choice, though, moving to Van Helsing. Not sure... What? How did you move to Van Helsing? Ooh, okay. Yeah, I guess either way, I need to hit you twice to kill you, so I suppose this way he'll be able to heal in the night action after the fact. Alright, big fight, big fight. Woof. I don't like any of these options. I'm gonna try to mesmerize, I guess. Maybe he's doing gun because he doesn't want to take damage. Okay. Well, this is good. Now that he's mesmerized, I mean his gun won't one-shot me. So I see this as an absolute win. Oof, I'm gonna need to sit down. Standing up for so long. You're not feeling well. Not great. Not great. So if I think he's going crucifix... I think maybe I plot so I can get strength and ensure that I live. Yeah. I think I do that. Ooh. Look at you with the predicts. Well done. Okay, now the gun will kill me. Yeah, he's got a really good kit. They cover all the various different moves, so... I guess I kind of have to try Fangs, which is a super risky play. Well, I guess plotting wins against more things. I'll go plotting. Because the gun is the only thing that'll be able to hit me here. Ah. Could have gone Fangs. Oh well. You did good. That's good. Good kill. we just basically have to terrorize Ireland enough until we win. Yeah, that man, killing a rumor token vampire on the 6th space always is like a especially in the final week like this. It's spooky. Well, all I gotta do is just Cromwell Ireland a little bit more, and then eventually we can win. Okay. That's the right move. Yeah, we move, he lands, we have to hide. He moves again, and so then it will have to be a fight. So we're going to need to build a nice defensive location here in Dublin with lots of damaging encounters, of which I currently have one, which is not great. Well, maybe we'll be able to draw a fog. That would be nice. Although we don't have great odds on doing that. Within this deck are 2 fogs. I mean, it's better odds than if there was only one in there, but it's kind of a very much a luck thing. Move. We throw down a reckless. We hope that we draw a promote Barcelona to a lair. Yes, please. Clear Athens. Ooh, reckless. Excellent. Yeah, I'll get rid of the hoax since not anything is going to mature. What's better, a Sisgani? I guess I'll do this for fun. Yeah, we have a decent shot at this, because he'll land, we'll hit him with the mob. And then if he moves again, we'll double hit him with reckless vampires. We have a decent chance of being able to kill him. Although I suppose this Sisgani bodyguard is better. Yeah. The likelihood of damage is a little higher with the Sisgani bodyguard. And there's even a half-decent chance of getting 4 damage because he's low on items. Yeah, the mob and the bodyguards sort of target different item configurations. If they have weapons and a lot of items, the mob does more damage. If they don't have weapons, don't have a lot of items, the Sisgani bodyguard does more damage. And I might as well just do this. I guess it gives them free information, but I didn't see a prompt for a forewarned there, so it makes me know that he doesn't have forewarned, so maybe one of them does. Yeah, there's no way you're searching this, so I have to do the ambush. Ooh. Discard. So he just has the Heavenly Host. Ooh, alright. But hey, I'm at 5 health. If he can hit me with that Heavenly Host and try to pull off a punch, could be done. Could be. She should just days play. Even though it's a Dracula card on top. Hold up, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15. There's 10. So 9 of 33. Really? Man, I don't know about that. Like, you're not going to be able to get there in time. He's probably going to heal. Yeah, I definitely want to go for the bodyguard, because I actually know he has no weapon now. Yeah, we just shoot him with normal, regular gun! To quote other YouTubers. Do I think I'd do the vampire first? Because if he knows 2 health will kill him, he may play differently. Yeah, we want the bodyguard. Promote Saragossa to a lair. Sure, why not? Have an aristocratic, I guess. Doesn't matter. No fogs, but I'm definitely not entitled to one. I never saw that symbol behind the day marker. Renewed Vigor, it's a good play. So we're going to wait, and we're going to hit... we're actually only going to hit Van Helsing, although I think there might be a bug here where it may hit Godalming, which would be super dumb. But, you know, bugs are part of the game. I guess you're going to horse into my space. I'll ambush with the vampire. Yeah. Yeah, all comes down to this. And this is an excellent use of Renewed Vigor, by the way. One of the only ways that you can move faster involving C. So we use a horse, so he only has 2 items. If you have escape route, you want to use it. If you have planned ambush, I can understand saving that for the Dracula fight. Fang attacks won't get me anything here. I actually technically want to just survive here. Although doing damage will be nice. Speedy Telegraph is not in play, so ambushing again with the Reckless Vampire won't break anything. At least, it shouldn't. I'm gonna feel really bad if it did. I'm gonna go claws here, actually. I don't think I can get one shot. I think he might go punch. Ooh. Okay, I'll take that. Good info to know. Lets me know that Mesmerize is dangerous. Well, since I'm pretty sure he's gonna punch, I think I'll go fangs here. Aha. Okay. Well, New info is good. Don't say no to that. Man, I really want to draw a strength here. That would be superb if I could draw a strength. It's actually going to be quite bad if his vampire dies. But if I didn't ambush with anything, I don't think he would bring Van Helsing in. And I actually do not like my odds against 1v1 against a full health Lord Godalming. At 5, or 3 to spare because I'd have to wait until round 5. Yeah. On strength. Oh. Yeah, I basically, I mean, he's going to play the Crucifix or the Punch. If somehow he doesn't, this will make me win, but no, he's going to do Punch or Crucifix and take me out. Yeah. Well, at the very least, we got data off of this, which is good. I'm going to feel a little stupid that I wasn't able to get the kill on Van Helsing. But maybe we can get the kill in another way. Come on, come in. Wait, he has another item? What? Since when? Since when do you have another item? Yeah, have a bodyguard. I thought for sure you didn't have a gun. What? Man. And it's a thing that can cancel claws? Oh, I'm hosed. This is bad. This is a bad... I think I'm dead. I don't think I can win this. Ah, man. If I hadn't ambushed with the Reckless Vampire, I don't think it would have changed anything. I'm trying to think if there's a way... There's a knife. If I strength Godalming... Man, and because he has Sister Agatha. Ah... Yeah, and he'll be... Well, no, he'll be able to heal right now. I don't think so. Not unless I can Fang against this Heavenly Host. Because of that, I think it's unlikely that he uses the Heavenly Host. I think it's more likely that he goes Gun. I think I go Strength against Godalming, break his Knife. And then at that point, I can sort of focus on Van Helsing. Problem is, best case scenario there is I take 2 damage. He should heal here, unless he's thinking about trading for like a planned ambush. Yeah, that's the correct play. Unfortunately... How did he get another item? I guess he traded for it. Godalming has... No, he has 3 items. One of them is horses. One of them is a knife, and one of them is a... Crucifix, right? Yeah, he has a knife and a crucifix and a horse. Van Helsing has Heavenly Host. Okay, knife, crucifix, horse. Crucifix and horse. Okay. I don't know if there's a time to play it. Now's the time. Ugh. Okay, who played Planned Ambush? Looks like it was Van Helsing. Okay, so he's gonna go for the... yeah, he's gonna go for the Heavenly Host. So I don't really think we can win this. The only way is if we get double claws, we claws Godalming. No, if we claws Godalming, we lose. If we claws Godalming and Godalming doesn't go knife for some reason, and then we claws Van Helsing again, and he doesn't go dodge or pistol for some reason, then maybe we can kill Van Helsing before we die, but no. Especially because Sister Agatha is in play. Yeah, Planned Ambush is so good with Heavenly Host. If we have two Fangs... well, no, but the problem is, if we go Fangs against Van Helsing, he swaps the Heavenly Host for the gun, and we take 5 damage anyway. Yeah, I really don't think we have a path to victory here. Because if we go Strength against Godalming, okay, we break his knife, then we take the 4 damage, and then all I have to do is double punch and we lose. Yeah, technically, this is kind of my only play. But it's only if he doesn't play knife here, and he's absolutely playing knife here. So I don't really have a path to victory. What? And this is why you do it. And see, now he's going to be tempted to play the gun. Although he played Heavenly House here, right? Oh, yeah. No, it's the same outcome. Yeah, it's the same outcome. Well, close, exciting finish, and because of Renewed Vigor, he won, and he got that Renewed Vigor from all of his nice day supplying. Close game. You love to see it. You love to see it. That was 10 points, and another good Dracula win. Well, I need to go sit down because I'm not feeling well. Godspeed.